purpose, as a target individual purpose, as I said, they create a reality that is so fictional. It's made up, it's created. They call it our reality, right? It's a reality that's not real. It's something they put together in order to make you accept a fantasy they put together. Because reality of this, you see this picture. This is me in the TI Day 2020. I was in New York, and I'm still in New York, and I was saying that this is impacting men, women, and children all around the world. They try to counter that by doing things that are not even worth saying right now. But this is reality. I, of course, know that. I know these people doing this to me will have and, are doing things to women and children, torturing, people in these nasty ways, psychologically, physically, financially, in every way possible, till death. And so, this majority of them. And so, I'm here, these people are trying to come up with a different reality. They're like, we have exchanged you and freed others because you're the worst, you're bad, so we want to keep you there, but we exchanged and then we free these people. And then you hear this perp, who's actually a perp, literally a perp, like, we're free, we'll be free. Right, this is a perp. I think in their mind, I'm supposed to think that they're targeting individuals for that, but they'll be free. They're not. They work for entities that do this to men, women, and children. And then they try to create some fantasy or some stories using whatever they can. Now, you understand these people obviously torture women and children, right? As I'm saying that, they're like, oh, they're going to cut your hands. And they're like, hey, the hands, to try to counter it. Right? So that's when I'm excited to well, I'm not excited. I understand that they just try to find ways to escape from reality, because as they try to say, no, we're freeing them. It's like, no, you're not. You're killing them. You're torturing them, and you're doing horrible things to them. You wanted to portray yourself, because that's what what they wanted to portray themselves as, is this group of like femme fatale, progressive, like daring group of people. The reality was they are just these people who do these horrible things to women and children. And matter of fact, women have called out the fact there's a lot of females doing that to women. What kind of woman are you to be able to involve yourself in this kind of program that these things to women, right? Reality. Of course, they escape that. Oh, we're females, by saying things like that via V2K. To counter, they try to agitate you with nonsensicalness. Like I said, reality always comes to them one way or another. Always. Matter of fact, there's even a testimonial from a woman since 2007 saying that the people involved in her programming were trying to portray themselves as she says it, an organization of goodness, as people who are doing good, as basically what they're trying to present themselves. Trying to create a facade, and she's a woman with children and all. They start doing the perfect type of torture on her. So you understand, the facade is real, and on top of that, just to wrap everything up here, and understand that the reason why I'm here is because of my employer, right? A very non-progressive, especially not feminist, femme fatale type of progressive individual who put me in this program. So I understand that. So now what they're trying to do is like, but, because you get involved in TI organizations, a lot of them obviously infiltrated. There's people in that that work for purpose. It's understood. I mean, TI regular people, like anybody can pretend to be a TI, or they can be easily compromised. We're talking about broken people who are desperate to find some, try to escape. Nobody wants to live in torment and torture. And on top of that, there's people who are pretending to be TIs, but they're not. And so, when I was trying to meet a few and realized, there's a few of them that perhaps look like they were just participating in the perping. And they're like, you see, even the TI, I was like, listen, I know. First of all, as TI, we're already easily manipulated. We are, V2K is manipulating you already. So you can act accordingly. And so that makes even one thing. Second, I know there's people who can pretend to be TIs and not be TI. It's very easy. Three, people will be compromised if you tell them that this is gonna get better. They're gonna do things. So I see them as like what you expect. If you ever go into like a TI calls, whatever, they'll always be paranoid and thinking, oh, these people are not. So I understand. I don't expect TI to be this like military grade level. Like they're just everyday people, and so anybody can pretend to be everyday people, right? And so they're like, you see, even them, they don't want you because they involve themselves in doing this. And I was like, no. It's not they're not the hardest people to infiltrate and be involved in. And mind you, I joined this TI group that just all of a sudden the old one was no longer, and new one just appeared right before I started joining in. So I was like, okay, obviously they're involved in this, and I'm not really shocked because anybody can pretend to be a TI. We're talking about people who are desperate, because just like me, you'll be desperate to find some freedom, but reality is not going to get you free. They're going to be, as a target individual, they do horrible things, and they're going to be continuously do horrible things, but they try to use that as like, no, we're free them. No, you don't. You kill them. There's this woman called Mariana. I've been using her testimonial as a reminder of what these people are. I was told that she was dead, and I believe it. I think she's no longer with us. I hope it's not true, but I understand what this person did to these people who wanted to leave their facade. He exposed these bottom feeders for what they actually do to women and children. And so when they do this pedophile type of torture, I understand that the word I'm using, pedophile type of torture, is a word that this woman said, and I've been using that same word to describe what they do to me. So when they do this pedophile type of torture, that's why I know they do. And they're bringing up the moment when I was in this TI call, and obviously this one quote-unquote TI who brought this kid, and I was like, oh, okay, she's involved. And it's like, you're just a perp. I don't get it. And after that, when I started talking, she kind of walked away and turned off the thing. It was just disgusting. But I understand. And then I hear somebody say, oh, they caught you. I was like, yes, do you call me, forcing me to experience the pedophile things that you've been making me experience since August 2019. That's what they do. And I'm glad that I'm able to express it. I'm glad that I'm able to see things for what they are. And they've been doing these horrible things to men, women, and children around the world, and I'm glad that I was able to express it in this TI 2020 video that shows that they do the pedophile type of torture, that shows that they torture women and children all around the world. And I'm glad to be on this side of things instead of doing what they do and try to claim it a weak cause. To all my target individuals, do not subscribe to these things.